What's up? So today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one. It's going to be more of like a guide video. If you're tired of cookie cutter programs, losing a little bit of fat and then putting it back on right when you go back to real life, the carnivore, the fasting, all the crazy information that's out there, and you're just ready to cut through the bullshit and make progress that lasts, this video is for you. I've lost 50 pounds over the past 2 years, 2 times. So these are the proven methods and systems that I've used that work for me and can work for you in real life as well. It's not going to be something that's crazy where you're spending 2 hours every single day in the gym, endless cardio, zero food. It's going to be plans and methods to fit your lifestyle that makes sense for you. So if you're looking to lose 20 plus pounds, lose some fat, gain some real strength with no bullshit, then this is the video for you. So let's jump right into it. If you're a guy who hates the way he looks, you avoid mirrors, you hate how your clothes fit, everything's you're doing the fat guy shirt pull, you can't stand photos. I've been there, you're not alone, and this is where it ends. I help guys drop 20 plus pounds, rebuild their confidence, and finally feel proud of the person they are and the body they have. With no starving, no BS cardio, no rebound weight, none of that. Before we start, I'm Addicts, and I'm about to show you how you can lose stubborn body fat and finally build a body you've been hiding for too long. Too many guys are insecure themselves, don't show themselves, and that reflects in everything, in the gym, in life, in relationships, and all that kind of stuff. This isn't just about fat loss either. It's about gaining strength, unshakable confidence, and a mindset that transforms your life and those around you. What you'll come to realize is that you can change more lives around you than yourself, and that is awesome when you have that confidence in yourself because you've lost weight and all that kind of stuff. So if you're ready to stop feeling insecure and start owning your transformation, then keep watching. This video is for you if you're terrified of pictures being taken of you. That's one of the worst feelings is someone gets a bad angle of you and you're like, oh, how did I look in that? How did I look in that? When you're in shape, you don't have that. So if you're tired of pictures, terrified of pictures being taken of you, this is for you. If you've tried different diets and the weight always comes back when you go back to real life, this video is for you. If you want to lose 20 plus pounds, progress in the gym, and still eat foods you like in an amount that isn't starving you, this video is for you. Sick of feeling lost and need the program that fits your lifestyle, which is so many people out there nowadays because there's so much information and bullshit out there. This video is for you. You don't have all the time to train and you need efficient structure. Like when you get in the gym, you got a plan, you get in there, you bust your balls and you get out. This is for you. And if deep down, you know your potential is so much higher than what you're at, and you just need someone there to hold you accountable and give you the guidance you need, then this video is for you, brother. This video is not for you if you're not open to making lifestyle changes or taking accountability for your progress. That's the number one step, in my opinion, to making great progress is taking all accountability for yourself. So if you don't want to do that, please click off the video. This is not for you. You can't commit at least 3 to 4 hours a week to train and prep your meals and show up for yourself. People think you need to spend 2 hours in the gym every single day. No, you need like an hour to 45 minutes, 5 days a week, and a little bit of time to prep your meals. And that's all you need. That's all you need. That's really all you need. So if you can't do that, you can't give that back to yourself, please click off this video and quit wasting my time and your time. If you expect motivation to come from me or external sources only and you don't want to build your own mental toughness and fortitude, this video is not for you. If you want to be coddled or told what you want to hear and not what you need to hear, please click off this video because you're definitely not the kind of person I want to work with. If you're looking for a program that lets you skip workouts, ignore your nutrition, and just do whatever you want to feel like or whatever you've been doing that hasn't gotten you any results or progress, click off this video. This is not for you, and move this up a little bit. If you're not willing to put your ego aside for a little bit and be coached by someone who's done what you want and built the results similar to what you want, then this video is not for you. Please click off and go home. Let's go over the truth about fat loss. There's so much information out there, and so much of it is just to sell you something. And so I'm going to give you the truth. You can lose 20 plus pounds, build real strength, and never gain it back, but only if you stop doing what's keeping so many guys stuck. Most guys fail because they've never been taught how to build a sustainable diet. People will go, especially men, will go way one way or way the other, and they cannot sustain that. Whenever you find something that you can adhere to for a long time, that is where you will make great progress, and that is where so many guys fail. They don't optimize their training. Too many guys go into the gym with no structure, no plan. They dread it. They hate it. They end up spending half the time on their phone, and then they get nothing done. And they don't run a proven system, something that has been done before by someone before them and that works. They're just going in there like, I'm gonna do this press and I'm gonna do this pull down and then I'm gonna go do this. If that has not been proven to work, it's not gonna work. And especially if you're in there just bullshitting around. So they don't run a proven system either. But that doesn't have to be you. There's no such thing as I don't have time or my metabolism's broken or that won't work for me or I just will never be in shape. Those are excuses. Only adding time to where you are right now to where you could be. All excuses, repeat it with me, is adding time from where you are right now, which is not what you want to be, to where you could be. You don't need 2 hour workouts, cardio marathons, or elite genetics to become the strongest, leanest version of yourself. You just need a system that's built for real life and the discipline and accountability to follow it. So, if you're ready to stop starting over, hold up, I get some water. I'm parched. If you're ready to stop starting over, here's what I'm about to show you. Why everything you've tried until now, such as zero carbs, carnivore, yo-yo diets, yada, 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 haven't worked, and the benefits of a clear-cut plan. How I lost 50 pounds twice in ways you can apply what I did. Exactly how I can help you lose permanently with a system that works for real life, a busy schedule, cravings, failing meals, and all of that stuff. And how to build strength, get lean, reclaim your energy without giving up your lifestyle so you can look, feel good, and actually be consistent for the first time in your life. So, a little bit about me and who I am, why I do this, yada, yada, yada. So, I've been in sports my whole life. I was always really competitive in that nature. And I always needed something to drive me. I needed something to be like really committed to. Like, I'm the kind of person that, like, when I get really into something, brother, I'm really in it. So, in 2020, this is kind of like where my fitness journey started. In 2020, we all got hit with COVID, right? And all of us kind of fell off to some extent. And then I took it to the extreme, and then I got obese. I just played Fortnite, Call of Duty, had no obligations in my life. I took no accountability, and I got fat. Like, I just completely hit rock bottom, and I hit rock bottom. And there's this one day it just clicked. I saw what was wrong with what I was doing, and it just clicked. And I started getting into health. Like, I'd been in sports my whole life, right? But I never really like was like into it. Like, I've never really like I cared. I love basketball like so much, but like the health and fitness part of it, I just really wasn't a part of. And there was just one night I was just like, dog, I gotta change. I have to change. And that's where my obsession with fitness came in. I started like researching it for workouts. What's the best this? What's the best that? And my first goal was I want to lose 15 pounds in, I think it was 3 months. And I took off on my journey, whatever. It was trying different foods, different workouts. And a month later, I'm like, I lost 15 pounds. This is pretty cool. And I just kept going and kept going. And that one little decision has led to all of this. And when what I saw was so many guys struggle with the same thing. They're in the spot where they're just like, well, it's there's too much information out there for me to learn, and I don't know what works, and I would like a clear answer. And that's really my main goal with all of this, is to give guys a clear answer. Because like with me, I'll do the work. I'll bust my nuts doing whatever. It's just I need you to give me the damn answer. Give me an answer that I know that will work. Because like I don't want to waste time. We don't have a lot of time on earth. We don't got a lot of time in the day. So it's like if I'm gonna put my efforts into something, I want it to be into something I know that freaking works. And from what I got from fitness and all that is I can see the amazing things that come from hard work, discipline, and a set plan like I'm saying that I'm going to give you today. So let me scoot this up again. Wait, oh my God. Sorry about that. But I've lived it. And if you're struggling, I've been exactly where you are. So the methods I'm going to show you aren't just theories, they are proven systems with proven results. I've been doing this for about 4 years. So, through 4 years of trial, error, and refinement, I built a system designed to help men become stronger, leaner, and more confident inside and out. And I'm big on that inside and out part because you cannot be the fully most confident version of yourself inside if you aren't on the outside. It's not about hacks or hype, it's about a proven process that delivers results. Simple as that. I've done the research, gone through the pain, and now I want to share with you as well. So here is what I'm going to show you step by step, walking you through it. I'm going to show you the exact process that I help guys drop 20 plus pounds, rebuild their confidence, and become unrecognizable in 12 weeks or more, depending on the person. all without cutting carbs, giving up your favorite food, spending hours in the gym, or gaining it back. This is an A to Z blueprint. If you follow it, it's not a matter of if you lose the weight, it's just a matter of when you lose the weight. So I like breaking it up into two phases. You have the initial phase, which when we first start working together, or when you first start on your journey, which is weeks 1 through 6, which it can be depending for some people, it can be 4 weeks, it can be 8 weeks, it can be 10 weeks. Really just depends. But the first things, main points of focus, like it says there, are diet adherence, fat loss while gaining strength, and finding the diet that fits your lifestyle and developing a solid foundation of all of that moving forward. The better that we can build the foundation of the house and the foundation of this progress, the easier this set progress as rolling phase will be. The more consistent you can be, and you will be able to adhere to this for the long term, which is the number one driving factor of progress in anything in life, honestly, is the long term haul that you can hold yourself to for doing this for a long time. And then weeks 7 through 26, which that could vary from person to person, pretty much 7 through when you achieve your goal or whatever. Now the ball is rolling. Main points of focus: understanding our ideal volume in the gym, how much we can do, getting the most out of the least, and not killing ourselves. Making adjustments to our diet and food as needed. So if, let's say, fat loss stalls, going down, I'll explain a little bit of that in the following points, and a good established cardio regimen. And I also should have put on here like water intake, but I'll explain more of that in previous points. But pretty much breaking it into two sections essentially. You got the initial push where we're really just trying to like build the foundation. You can't have a strong house, a strong anything, if you don't build a strong foundation. And then once we get the progress rolling, progress is just coming in like crazy, and then we are cooking with hot oil. So now I'm going to walk you through real examples of how I apply this in the real world, the exact methods I use, reasons behind every decision, no guessing. No guessing, real strategies backed by real results. I'll break down what I do, why I do it, and the exact thoughts that I'm applying every move and how you can apply it yourself. It is all about training, nutrition, and accountability. Those are the three pillars of fitness and fat loss: training, nutrition, and accountability. Let's get started. So, training, I really like progressive overload methods. I think that's the most easy way to really gauge fat loss and strength gain is by progressive overload. Each week, we're wanting to get a new stimulus. We're wanting to present the body a new stimulus so the body can adapt to that stimulus. Execution is so huge, especially in this initial phase, because if you're just doing random movements, or not random movements, but you're just jerking the weight up, you're just not controlling the weight. Your execution's bad. We're going into the gym and we're just like blindly doing stuff, and that's not what we want to do. So in that initial phase, I'm really looking at execution. I'm like, if you're doing this yourself, take videos of yourself, review your execution, be like, am I really doing this the correct way? Is my tempo correct? And all that kind of stuff. Understand your intensity. I'm going to say, even for myself, 90% of people do not understand how hard they can train. And that is something that I work with all my clients, and you should work with yourself, is you need to understand where you can actually take yourself to. I know people will, say, well, you don't need to go to failure, yada, yada, yada. Well, the closer you get to failure, the more stimulus you're going to get, which could result in more growth or whatever. So understand your intensity. Training good compounds. We want to have the meat and potatoes in there with good accessories as well, and a solid cardio regimen. So once we get a good schedule of cardio, need to really hone in on that. Nutrition, finding the diet that fuels training but promotes fat loss, because training is so important, and so many guys will mess up their diets and their training will plummet, so their muscle will plummet as well. They may be losing weight, but they're not losing the correct weight. Making the right tweaks week by week, that's just the thing you have to figure out, is like, if my weight's trending down, everything's looking good, but if it stalls out, what decision do you make going at that position? And that's something that's taken into consideration. Water intake. Let me scoot this over. Accountability, something I like and you should always be doing, is sending your training to your coach or with yourself. Like, always record your training, like I said earlier with the training execution. Be videoing yourself doing the workouts. I know it may be a little embarrassing in the gym, I get it, but just to make sure you're doing your execution right, doing your video on your training is huge, and logging all your meals and sessions is also huge. So you're doing it every day. You're not letting yourself slip up, and you're just holding yourself accountable. So the initial pushing. Stage one, the initial push. So this is like when you first start your program, you first start your workouts. This is the initial push. So the initial push, main keys I'm looking for in training in this initial push is mastering proper execution of every rep. We want quality over quantity. If we're going to the gym doing 4 sets of 12, let's say, or 3 sets of 10 or whatever, and those 30 reps are just sloppy, then we're wasting our time. So the first thing you should always look in within your training is the quality of it over the quantity. I want to dial in, you should dial in your training volume. You want enough to grow and recover well. You don't want to start at the maximum amount of volume that you can do, because then your body will adapt to that. And over time, you're gonna have to add more, and then at some point, you're gonna be tipping the tip of the jar, whatever you call that, and you won't be able to recover, and then you're screwed. So starting with the least and working your way up is the best approach, because at any point you can always just dial back, but if you have to keep adding more, you're just going to screw yourself in the end. So if you're starting some kind of workout journey, start with the least and then just slowly work your way up through time. Learning true training intensity. Probably every person I've worked with in person and over online is not training near as hard as they think they can, or they near as hard as they can, and myself included. Like, I think anybody really. Training intensity is so important in my opinion, and so many people neglect it, and it's so important for growth in my opinion. So learning that true training intensity in this initial push phase is huge. Building the habit of logging your workouts. I don't care if it's in a logbook, on an app, whatever. Logging your workouts weekly or daily, so you know the numbers that you need to hit going to progressively overload. Kind of going into this next point, to progressively overload each week is so important, because if you're just going to the gym and like, well, I think I did 65s last week and I could do 75s, or I don't know, actually, did I do 60s? I think I may have did 75s actually. You need a plan. You need to have it written down. So when you go into the gym, like, I did this 65s for 12. This week I want to get in for 13 or 14, yada, yada, yada going forward. So progressively, or logging your workouts is freaking huge. The initial push in nutrition, you gotta treat the first few weeks like a science experiment. If you're just starting out, like logging your macros, you're not really gonna know what your body's gonna respond to, because you don't know really what you've been eating. So treat the first few weeks as kind of seeing what your body does with a 200 calorie deficit. If you're kind of stalling out, try 300, try 400, and just adjust as needed. Dialing the macros for fat loss while gaining strength. That's like the number one key, in my opinion, in like a fat loss journey, is if your strength can keep going up, your muscle is not going away. Your fat loss is going down, your scale weight's going down. If you can keep this pretty even, that's a great key for progress, in my opinion. So if you're going to start around maintenance. I wouldn't say go a crazy deficit right off the bat, because the progress with that is just going to stall at some point. So you want to start around maintenance or slightly below, and then you adjust your calories and macros based on those results. So like, for example, let's say this week you went from 198 to 196.4. That's a perfect drop. I wouldn't adjust anything. I would leave it there. That's something a lot of guys also mess up on in this initial phase, is they try and change too much, when it's like, just, if you're making progress, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. Wait, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? So if you keep losing weight, bro, just chill. Quit making changes. Just ride it out. Stage two, this will be week 7 through 26, or until your goal is met. So this is when the progress is really rolling. We got things ramped up. We got everything's boxes are being checked. We're going to keep refining execution and pushing intensity. I think this is something that guys can work on all the time. They can keep improving, and no one's got the perfect execution all the time. Focus on our meat and potatoes lifts, like our squats. If you're deadlifting, things like heavy RDLs, really get good execution on those movements, because we're going to get the most load, the most stress on the muscle through those workouts. We need to really hone in on those with smart accessory work as well, with good execution, good reps, good sets, and all that kind of stuff. An established, consistent cardio routine. I think everyone should be doing cardio, bulking, cutting, whatever. Good cardiovascular health will in turn give you better sessions, because you'll have more endurance during your sets, which will produce better sets, which can produce more muscle growth, which can whatever. So I think people should have a cardio routine all year long, whether it be twice a day in a prep, or if it's just 5 days, 20 minutes, just something. And a better understanding of the goal of certain movements. So like something I like get with my clients is once we have like that initial push phase is over and we're kind of getting the ball rolling, understanding like why am I doing this movement? Why does this movement work better than this one? And just understanding training to a point to where if we even didn't work together, you would understand, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I think understanding your training is huge, is very big. Nutrition, let me scoot me over again. Week 7 to 26, or until the goal is met, is a big fat loss phase. So we're going to be in a calorie deficit to maximize fat loss and complete the foundation of our transformation. Start at a slight deficit and gradually increase until we're at desired level of body fat or body weight. And once we reach your target body fat percentage, we go back to maintenance, slowly start adding up. And that's another big point. I'm gonna make another big point. Is guys will like hit their, let's say your goal is 175, right? And then you're like, oh, I hit it. Let's go right back up to my maintenance. No, 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 no. All of this stuff needs to be done in small increments, in my opinion. There's no point in going from 1,500, or it's a bad example, 2,500 calories per week to 1,500. There's no point in making that big of a jump, and that's a really big take-home point. That's kind of like a side point in this video is don't do things I would never do things in extremes. Do it slowly, so your body can adapt. Because if you just hit it with 1,000 calorie drop, it's a bit, what is going on? So do things in small increments with your nutrition. That's how I like doing it. If I'm bulking someone up, my calorie addition to them may be like 200 a day, or like 100 a day. If they're cutting, it may be like 100 a week. It may be 50 grams of rice at 2 meals. It may be that small of changes is more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more applicable in the long term. You can't drop 500 calories every week if you just don't lose fat, or then you're going to get to zero and you're going to die. You have to do it in small increments so you can maintain that for a long time. Going back to my point, what you can adhere to and maintain progress with for the long term is what really, really matters. So keep getting in the way. This program is not about just losing fat. What I've come to realize is that with all this fitness stuff, it has given me such a guideline for just how to kind of live life. So it's about reclaiming the version of yourself that you know is buried under all this excess body fat, excess weight that you don't need. It's about unlocking a version of yourself that you know is inside you. You know your potential. You know you can be a better person than what you're being. You know it. You know it. I know it. The whole reason you're here is because you know that you can be a better version of yourself, right? You can be stronger, more disciplined, more confident in the gym and in life. This is about building a body and the mind of a man you are meant to be. You are meant to be greater. So many guys and girls are meant to be greater than they are being. But simply because it is hard to become the person that they know they can be, they won't do it. It's all about a decision to become greater. And that should be all of our goals, is to slowly just keep progressing ourselves and whatever that may be in our lives. So now that you understand how the system works, here's who it's built for. If you're someone looking to lose about 20 pounds of fat, or just fat in general, and you're tired of hiding your clothes and avoiding pictures, you're tired of pulling the shirt down, or I know we all do the fat kid thing where we put the pillow on our stomach. If you're tired of all that, if you're sick of starting over and feeling lost, and you're ready to finally burn fat, build strength, take control of your life finally, committed to becoming the version of yourself you know that you're capable of becoming, then this is for you. You'll follow a proven system that I've ran for 4 years now to lose 10 to 15% of your body fat in the next 12 to 26 weeks without giving up your favorite foods, training for god awful amounts of time in the gym, or gaining it all back. And if it doesn't work, this is the cool part, I will refund you all your money you spent with me. I think it's a bunch of bullshit if I charge you money, you don't get the results you want.